Okay, if you're looking for a budget dual PC streaming setup, one of the ways that you can really cut corners is eliminating the need for a capture card and a higher end audio interface. So this guide today covers how to use the Moonlight application to set up a dual PC streaming setup without a capture card. Moonlight is a game streaming application that leverages NVIDIA's game stream technology to stream from a gaming PC to another device, like a streaming PC, for example. This allows you to offload the processing for streaming while improving gaming performance so you get higher quality. I just actually put out a full guide on putting together some budget builds for a dual PC streaming setup. So if you guys want to go check that out, link is in the description. So first, let's go over the hardware requirements for this. So for the gaming PC, you're going to want a NVIDIA GPU with game share support, a GTX 600 series or newer. You're going to want an Ethernet port or a strong Wi-Fi connection. For the streaming PC, essentially all you really need is just the reliable Ethernet port or strong Wi-Fi connection. I highly recommend using Ethernet, by the way. It's just a better connection. But with using Moonlight, you really don't need that insane of a GPU for the stream PC. Again, checking out the previous video will help a lot in that. Last thing that you need is a network. Obviously, both PCs should be on the same network. You would hope for a decent enough connection to handle both, but to my understanding, as long as they're just plugged in on the same network, your upload and download speed doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure the connection's more important just locally and not like broadband. The software you're gonna need for this is the Moonlight app, which will be installed on your streaming PC, and then the Sunshine app, which will be installed on your gaming PC. And that is essentially the hosting program that will send the signal over to Moonlight. For final software, you obviously need something to stream on, like OBS or Streamlabs. I'm not gonna go into detail in this video. If you aren't really aware of that stuff first, you should probably take a step back and go learn more about that. Now, setting up the gaming PC. Download and install the host program Sunshine onto your gaming PC. Open up Sunshine and set up an account. Your computer's gonna ask about installing and setting up an account, by the way, and I had no problem with it, and this was suggested from some other bigger creators as well. Once you've installed and set up your account, go to your input tab and disable gamepad, keyboard, and mouse input, and then go to the advanced tab and select NVIDIA NVENC under forced specific encoder. There's some other settings that you can mess around with, especially if you need to optimize some stuff. This is gonna be really a trial and error for you, but these really are the only settings that I've changed. And now if you're having some problems, you can always optimize your games for streaming. In the GeForce experience, under your game settings, you can actually optimize for smoother performance during streaming. I'm using 4080 Super in my gaming PC, so I haven't really had a problem with this. I pretty much open up all quality for my shit. Since it's using some of your GPU to encode the data over to the stream PC, you might have to just dial back the settings a little bit if you're experiencing any issues in OBS, like some stuttering and whatnot. Real quick, by the way, just wanted to take a quick opportunity to remind you guys, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, like, comment the video if this is helpful in any way, shape, or form. If you want to check out any of the footage that we've captured from this, I have a gaming channel. I'll link that in the description as well. And then if you want to check this out live at any point, I stream over on kick.com/BigE. Feel free to come by and shoot the shit sometime. So next up, setting up this streaming PC. So on the stream PC, this is where you're going to want to download and install the application Moonlight. To pair Moonlight from your streaming PC to your game PC, open Moonlight on the streaming PC. Moonlight will automatically search for devices on the local network. If the gaming PC is found, it will appear on this list. Click on the gaming PC selection from the list, and a pin will be displayed on the streaming PC. And then all you have to do is enter the pin on the gaming PC and it will sync them. Now, in my experience, I didn't have to enter a pin. It just synchronized itself. So maybe you get a pin, maybe you don't. But either way, once the connection's paired, the Moonlight app on the stream PC will show a complete replica of what you see on your gaming PC. Now let's move into optimizing the stream. So while you have Moonlight open on your gaming PC, you can go to the settings icon. From there, you can adjust your resolution, frame rate, and bit rates, all depending on what you personally need. Typically for resolution, you're gonna wanna go at least 1080p. I personally use 1440p because obviously the computers can handle that, and I choose to record my footage in 1440p while streaming in 1080p. Again, because my streaming PC can handle that. If you're streaming in 1080p, you don't need to use Moonlight to capture in 1440p because it's gonna be downscaled anyways, and it's just more resource that you don't need to use. So 1440, 1080 really is a personal preference on what your overall goals are. I upload gaming content on the second channel in 1440p So that's what I choose to do. And if you're a fucking maniac and you got an insane dual PC setup and you want to stream or record in 4K, you can do that all the way up to like 144 hertz, I believe. But overall, for frame rate, 60 FPS for smooth gameplay is all you really need. You can bump it up to 120 if you really want to record in that, or if the streaming site offers 120 streaming, but it's really not needed. It's like, honestly, not even needed. It's really not necessary. It's just kind of like a performance flex, but most people aren't gonna be able to watch a stream at 1440p, 120 FPS. Their internet is gonna dial it down to 60 FPS anyways. Most people will actually watch anything at 720 to 1080 and they have no idea. I could make an entirely separate video on why so many creators care way too fucking much about resolution and trying to be flashy and how little it actually matters, but that's for a whole different day. For bitrate, if you want higher quality streams, you're gonna look at anywhere from 25 megabytes to 50 megabytes. And if you're rocking 1440p, anywhere from 40 to 60 megabytes per second. Then from there, go over to the advanced section and force hardware encoding. I originally found Moonlight from a creator called Gathalion. He suggested using that, so I set it up that way, so I've just been using it ever since. Now, I personally use OBS, so I'm going to explain integrating Moonlight into OBS just for today's video, but any streaming platform really has a similar setup anymore, so just pretty much follow what I'm about to say on whatever you use. So once you've confirmed set up your gaming capture to the stream PC, you're going to want to set up Moonlight as a source in OBS. So in OBS, add a new window capture, screen capture, or game capture source to capture the Moonlight stream window. I personally use game capture. Again, I seen that Gathalion did that. I set it up that way. It's not been an issue. I don't know the difference between the three. If you're noticing any like stuttering, maybe switch it up. I don't think it would be that big of a problem though. From there, set up your stream as normal. Add your overlays, your webcams, your alerts, all the flashy shit that you need for your stream. Do note though, and a lot of streamers don't understand this, the more animations and the more stuff and the more flair, the more video GIFs that you have pop up and play around on your stream PC, that does take resource. It takes encoding to process a lot of that. So the more stuff you have, if you're trying to like budget down and really optimize your setup, the more stuff you have, the more potential issues you can run into doing higher quality things. For example, a lot of people don't realize that using a 4K camera and downscaling it to be a little cam box, that creates a huge amount of resource. You actually want to use your camera, regardless if it's 4K or not, as just a 1080p input. That is if you want to optimize your shit to be the best performance, so that way you can really do everything on a budget. From there, set the desired bitrate, resolution, frame rate, and OBS based on your streaming platform's recommendations. Select the preferred encoder. X264 is processing power, NVENC is GPU power. If you're setting up a dual PC setup, so that way you can capture content, because that's like one of the biggest benefits, you can set it up to use X264 for recording video and NVENC for streaming video, so that way you're splitting up the resources between CPU and GPU. But once you have all the settings dialed for your personal setup and your personal internet, from there, you'll want to begin testing the stream. I'd highly recommend everybody do a private or a stream test. I know Twitch has this option and you could do a YouTube private stream. I just recommend doing this first, because when you actually click the go live button, you never know how that might just add additional resource. Like everything may look smooth in OBS when you're not live, and then you click go live and you have to tweak some things. It's better to tweak those things, obviously, when you're offline, not when you're live. Now, if you're running this on a budget and you want to optimize your performance, here's a couple tips. First and foremost, again, I can't recommend using a wired connection enough. Even if you have a strong Wi-Fi signal and you're really close to the router, it's not gonna do what being hardwired in can do. You reduce the latency between PCs immensely by making sure they're both plugged in, so I'd highly recommend that. Also, minimal network congestion would be recommended. It's gonna be tough if you have 15 devices plugged on the same goddamn network. See, that's gonna take some resource down. Both of these computers are plugged into the router, and that's it. It's the only things taking the resource. I stream primarily during the day, so nobody's really home watching anything on Wi-Fi and whatnot. I don't have any problem because I use fiber anyway, so I have a gig down and a gig up. So this is not an issue whatsoever for me in terms of network, but I know not everybody has that luxury. So if you have other people on your network and you don't have the best download and upload, you're probably gonna wanna make sure you're hardwired and again, have the minimal amount of things on your internet. Hardware usage, if you're experiencing any lag, you can start off by lowering your game resolution settings before you mess with anything in OBS. And then from there, you can monitor both your CPU and your GPU on your stream PC to see if anything is bottlenecking the other thing. For troubleshooting on the streaming PC with Moonlight, again, if you're noticing any stuttering, any lag, I'd highly recommend first lowering your bit rate. Second, maybe lowering your resolution. Again, if you need to stream in 720p to have a fluent stream, then there's no need to transmit 1080p from your gaming PC to your streaming PC. You might as well just do 720p, 960p, whatever it is that you're doing that is below 1080p. There's no need to send a higher signal if you're just gonna downscale it anyways. And for troubleshooting between both of these, just make sure all your drivers are up to date for everything. All your GPU drivers, any audio drivers, whatnot. It's crazy how on Windows, one little driver can screw everything up. Last, I want to talk about how I set up my audio. You may have noticed by now, I haven't mentioned much about audio. That's because everybody's different. For me, I just wanted one simple audio interface. And that's like one thing I really don't like about dual PC setups is having this big interface with these dual outputs and all these fucking buttons. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't like it. I don't care for it. For this particular setup, I actually have no audio being routed to my gaming PC whatsoever. My microphone and audio interface both go to my streaming PC. I use Discord on the stream PC, obviously talk to chat and everything through the streaming service. So I have all that routed to the stream PC. And because there is literally no delay or no latency from Sunshine to Moonlight via audio, I'm able to transmit the audio from the gaming PC to the stream PC, and I play the gaming PC's audio on the Moonlight app. Only downside to this is I'm not able to talk in game then because my microphone is going to my streaming PC. I'm looking for a workaround. I know there's the banana voice meter. I think that program is fucking trash, so I really don't want to use that. If you guys have any other virtual mixer options to suggest, I'm open ears. The other thing that I was thinking of is just simply using kind of a cheaper mic for the gaming PC, like putting like a directional mic on top of the monitor, because you really don't need the best mic to talk in game to like troll people. But right now, that's not really my content. I don't talk in game anyways. Been playing Delta Force a lot lately. Again, check out the video. Again, check out the second channel and the live streams to see what that game is about, but I don't really communicate in game. So for me, it's not that big of an issue. But that is like the only drawback I have in terms of this entire setup is I just can't talk in game. Everything else is super simple, minimal wires, smooth connection, easy setup. You will want to make sure that you have mute host PC speakers in the audio section of Moonlight if you have speakers for both PCs, because if not, it will still play the audio through your game PC while playing the audio on your stream PC as well. But again, since I have no speakers, no audio whatsoever set up to the game PC, I don't have that issue. All right, gang, I hope this was helpful. I've been using this program for I think about a month now. It's been super useful for me. No issues in my experience so far. Very smooth. Again, you can check out everything on the second channel or while we're live. If you guys have any suggestions or setting changes or anything that you have found works for you, maybe on budget builds, link them down in the comments below. I will have a more detailed setup video on how I set up the two PCs via cam link, what cables go to where. So make sure you're subscribed for that. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. I'm out. Peace. Deuces.